Conflict and divorce has shown the result of outcome of poor childhood and problem in our society today. Good to have you today and another real talk. Here we keep it real. Everything relationship on this midnight show. And I pledge that you do everything to join us here, where we'll have professionals and experts who talk on everything real. And to do this here today, I'm not alone. But before that, I said, welcome to Retalk. Let me introduce my guest, my co-hosts from all around the world doing this together with me. From all the way from Toronto, Moscow, I have Sir George in the house. Sir George is an authority on anything relationship. Sir George, it's good to have you here today.
Well, it's such a pleasure to be here with you, Biddy, and the rest of the crew, and welcome viewers from around the world. Today's show is very important. Stay tuned, and we'll be telling you the pros and cons of divorce. Thank you.
Yeah, all the way from Lagos, I have my aunties, Larry. Larry, good to have you here today. I've truly missed you. Can she hear
Yes,
Thank you.
me? Yeah, good to have you. I'm from Milan.
Yeah, I've missed you too. Thank you, BD.
I have
Thank-
Ite himself. Massive man,
I'm
good to
hearing
have you
you.
here again.
Yes, we can hear you loud and clear. Laurry Jones, we
Thank
can
you
hear you
so
too.
much.
We can hear you. Good. Thank
Yeah,
you.
for the past
Okay.
3 episodes, we've been talking about divorce, the effect of divorce in our society. Why divorce? Why should we even consider divorce? If we should consider divorce, why then did we even consider going into marriage? Because this divorce is actually affecting our society, is affecting our person, is affecting our personality, our mental health, everything is messing everything up. Now we've talked a lot of things, and today we're going towards wrapping it up because next episode we'll be wrapping up this topic. Now, I want to start from all the way from Toronto because it's a serious thing. Now, Sir George, we'll talk about last week we looked at the pros and cons of divorce. Now, today is this. Why do people even consider divorce? Why should it be an an option in marriage? And it has everything doing with the beginning. Because when I asked you this thing, I met a guy who said before he went into marriage, him and his wife made agreements that anything divorce should not come into this relationship. You see that it was an attempt by these two couple in going into this relationship that nothing like divorce, and they fought and worked towards sustaining their relationship, and today they are living happily. So, Sir George, why should people even see a divorce as an option in a relationship?
First of all, is if you don't know where you're going, it is difficult for you to land anywhere. If you don't have a destination, that's exactly what it is. Most of the time, you see people get into a relationship because they are forced into it, number one. Number two is because, what we call the culture of the society. They say you got to get married at this age or that age, whether you're ready or not. So people are forced into marriages. And as a result of that, they compromise the inceptional processes of entering into a relationship before marriage because your parents are forcing you. The community is saying, oh, you're 34 years old, you need to get married a woman. Time is flying, this and that. And then all of a sudden, that's number one. Number two is relationships have become transactional. And it is no longer a covenant. Right now, it's a business transaction. So we entering into a business transaction, and what happens with that, you see a lot of people, they prepare to get out even before the marriage begins. And that's what you call prenup. So now that institution of marriage that we used to revere and love because you want to enter into it because this is a lifetime type of event, till death do us part, that's no longer the things these days. Number two, women are opening their eyes. They're more civilized. The way it used to be in the past, where you become an object of ridicule or object of caricature in your community simply because you get a divorce or maybe you don't have a child. It's no longer the same right now. Therefore, women that used to be forced to stay into an abusive relationship, now they see a way out. So it's almost like I'm not going to stay in this relationship and die in it. Therefore, I can get out and I can do bad on my own rather than being here and being psychologically, emotionally, physically, financially, and verbally abused. So that is the reason why a lot of people consider divorce these days, even before that's why a lot of marriages are faltering because things have changed.
You really hit it at the nail there, Larry. So I just say that those days, this time is no longer those days where women are being forced to remain in marriage, or where women get cajoled or bullied or shamed at because just simply because they're divorced or whatever thing. But this time around, it is different. Now, who do we? How did we get here? That women no longer say, I don't even know how to put this, because if I put it the way I am, massive back will come for me. And so how did we get here, and who do we blame? Now that women is not just that our women are more civilized.
I am
They now know,
aware.
they are more aware. They now know their rights. They now know what they want and what they don't want. Now my question is this: how did we get here? How did we allow it to get to the point that it becomes so bad? Do you understand? So dehumaning that a woman will not know, oh no, I can no longer take this.
Hmm. It's actually being aware of your environment, yourself, as in self-awareness. Most of the women that got married and they were taking all kinds of things, you know. Maybe they got married when they were very young, they were younger, they could take whatever the man was doing and all that. But as they grow older in that marriage, they tend to see the things that they were overlooking. As in, I don't know how to put it.
It's okay.
Because I say when you are aware that this thing that have been taken is actually not right. Maybe the man has been beating them, or maybe or emotionally abusing them, physically abusing them, and they've been taking it. The moment they get aware, they want out. So I would say exposure, awareness. Maybe they got involved with friendships that opened their eyes. When your eye open to the evil things that someone is doing to you, and encouragement from outside too.
It's okay. Now, Massive Mike, Sir George and Laura, they are actually saying the same thing, that women are more civilized, and they are no longer ashamed of the word divorce as it used to be in the past. Now, my question is this: if women are more civilized, they are more aware, like Laura said. Now, shouldn't the men themselves, step back a little from that ill treatment, or not treating the women well, so that we can reduce this divorce rate in our society today?
Um, I want to appreciate you guys for beautiful things you're saying. And let me tell you, there are quite a number of people listening. This is the late night show, Real Talk, and good talk is going on. Love conquers everything. there's never been a time people weren't aware of their marriage status. The only thing is they became more active and domineering. So women have always been aware of everything. I mean, you women have a gift that men don't even know. That gift is you see further. In fact, what most church pastors and preachers claim to have, the power they claim to have, a lot of women have it naturally. You women have it. So you've always been aware, you've always been who you've always been. But what happened is love faded out in that relationship. Um, uh, Love went out the window. And sadly, a lot of women took to the hate side of the relationship. You can conquer every situation in anything with love. Yes, you can. Let's leave this emotional battering, abusing, and all this. All these are just new words and new things that people are using to cover up for
No, Massive Mike,
scattered marriage.
you're not answering my question.
No, no, I'm coming. Okay, you're saying, yes, go ahead. You're saying that, no, don't laugh. It's a
You-
serious thing. It's a very serious thing.
You're
Go
not
ahead.
answering my question. My question is
Okay.
this. Sir
Uh-huh.
George and Laura, they're saying the same thing, that women are more
Yes.
aware of the
And I'm
kind of
saying
treatment.
they've
Now,
never,
because
they,
they are not aware, they wouldn't want such treatment. Now, my question is this:
no,
is it not okay or better for our men to actually step back forward
no,
and
and
now
I'm saying,
realize now,
yes, I'm saying, sorry, I'm saying that they've always been aware. You can't say women are more aware now. No, no, no. Women have always been aware of themselves. They've always been that awakening in every woman. There's always been that consciousness in every woman
it's,
from time beginning. Now, what happened is they did it, they allowed societal belief and utterances, what their friends tell them. They allowed that to enter into relationship and destroy marriages and
it's
destroy
okay.
them.
Can you hold it on that? Laura, you want to say something? Laura, oh yeah, let me hear you.
I wanted to say about the awareness. Do you know that some women that got married at a young age, even the matured ones, because even in the relationship, a man will beat you, beg you, tell you that he beats you because he loves you. Maybe he say he wants to train you, and you have been taking it. You have been, as in, you have naturally accepted that he slapped me because I came back home late. He's training me. At the point you realize, you become aware that he does not have any right to lay his finger on you. You understand? That's the awareness I'm talking about. There are things you just be taking and think that they are just natural things. They are things that are supposed to be happening to you.
It's okay. Let me
Anyway,
now.
If
I want to take this question to
can I
Sir
come in
George.
there? Can I come in
Okay,
Yes,
there?
George
it's all
needs
right.
to
You
come
see,
in.
let me tell you all something. What we have to understand, these are, part of the signs of the times. When
Mhm.
we're talking about awareness is like if you've grown up in a village, okay, and all you've seen is the culture, the tradition in the village. A man would get a cane and flog his wife, and then his wife will cry and go to the bedroom and still come out and cook for that man. All of a sudden, you're living in a city. You're living in a civilized world where even spanking a child is considered a crime if a
Mhm.
parent spanks a child. And then it grows into certain things like, if I push you, I can go to jail for that. And then if I say if I force you to have sex with you as my wife, then I can go to jail for that. So what you're asking is yes, indeed. We have to evolve with time. We have to evolve in the society where we are. You cannot, there was a man that was in this country, and the wife was peppering this man, peppering this man. This man told me specifically, I cannot wait until I take her home. Do you know he did not, when they went home, he didn't go to the hotel. They went to a resort where they have their own house. The woman was like, I would like to go and see my parents. It's like, yeah, let's spend a couple of days here. So after they have unpacked and everything was okay, make sure that people have gone to bed. There was music in that place. He put the TV on and beat the living hell out of this woman. And as he's beating this, listen to this. He said, when for calling me this, for doing this, beating the woman. The woman fought back. After fighting back, the woman was so bruised that instead of saying a couple of days in that result, they had to stay 1 week for her face to heal before she went. So this is what I'm saying, that sometimes we have to evolve with time. Homosexuality was unacceptable, it was taboo, it was an abomination in the past. Now North America is forcing all African countries to adopt such lifestyle. So we have to be aware of where we are and what time we are in. I'm not saying that we ought to change the good things to bad. But this is a place where women are now becoming more aware that I don't have to be abused. And you don't have to, you don't beat me and tell me you love me. That's not love. I'm supposed to be your partner. I'm supposed to be your comparable mate. Therefore, we have to discuss issues as mature adults, come to a common level of understanding. But the woman respecting the man, knowing also that at the end of the day, being the head of the household, you will give it to your husband if he refuses, because consequences come is on the head. So that's one of those things we need to really understand when it comes to relationships.
Sir George, as
when
you're talking about this, I want to
one another. You know, I'm telling you.
Sir George, hold on. Sir George, hold on. As you're discussing, I want to give you another question. Now, what you said about involving is actually one of the problems we have in this part of the world. I'm talking about Africa. Our women are revolving, but our men still believe that life or marriage should be lived the way their forefathers lived. Do you understand? I think it is one of the problems when you talk about this revolving you're talking about. Our men have refused. They've refused. They still tell you, oh, my mother did it, my father did it, and it must be so. Don't you think it's part of this problem we're talking about this night?
The same problem we have in our country today. We have been ruled in such a bastardly way, corruption. And the people that are ruling us, because they're benefiting, do not want to change the status quo. In the same way, men felt like, well, the way it was benefits us. We are the net domineering society. It benefits men to go out, stay until 3 o'clock, come home in the morning, and expect the wife to wake up and cook for him. And no questions asked. Where were you? No, you have no right to ask me that. So in the same manner, men will want to continue in the same vein because it benefits them. It gives them more right to do what they want.
George, it's not all men. George, let me say
not
something.
All men.
Not all men. What we are talking about here is the percentage. What we are talking about here is the percentage.
Mark excluded.
Yes.
Mark is excluded. Are you sure?
Let me say something here. Let's take note that as much as the house is the man is the head of the house, the woman has a major pivotal role in the family. And do you know that for love to reign in a family, it rests in the hand of the woman?
Of course.
I disagree to that. To that. That is how marriages has been collapsing. For marriage to survive, it depends. It rests on the shoulder of the two people.
Yes.
Marriage that works is a marriage where two people are ready to make it work.
Yes, but
if you leave for one person,
in a family, do you know in every family, the mother, the woman is somehow the gatekeeper of that family. Do you know? Yes.
Yes, I do. I believe that.
Yes, the woman.
That is the reason. Listen to this, Mark.
So, as a gatekeeper, whatever you do affects the whole house. Now, do you know that, like George talked of a woman that hits the wife, the man that hits the I have a friend. This is real. This is right there in Lagos. I have a doctor. He's a doctor in veterinary, and the wife beats him. I'm telling you, real. It's not a movie. One day,
So
me and
just
the
stop
man went.
laughing.
One day, me and the man went out to do something, to do a business, and we came late. Now, when we were coming, he told me this is problem for him tonight. I thought he was joking. Now, I was outside waiting, and he went inside and didn't come out for a long time. I'm telling you a true story. He didn't come out for like 10. He didn't come back to meet me because I was waiting for him. He was supposed to bring me something. Now, I sneaked into the house and found my friend hands up, kneeling down, and the wife hitting him. And this is a veterinary doctor certified. He went to UI, University of Ibadan. Now that day I couldn't believe this. The man his hands were like this, like how you beat a school, how teachers beat students. And the woman was beating him. Bam! Where did you come late? Where are you and Mark? Where you people go in the night? And so when I opened and saw this, I sneaked back and said, "Hey," and I sneaked and went home. I didn't see him the next day. The next time I'll see him, I wanted to talk about it. He said, "Mark, let's not talk about this." So I knew my man was going through serious domestic violence, serious one.
Yeah, a lot of
Now, there are situations like that. I'm not saying this because this is just one of it. But what I'm trying to say is, it rests in a lot of women. You see, divorce that is rising in our time. Believe me, I'm putting the blame more on the women.
no. Massive man, I
Okay,
disagree with you. Massive man, I
okay.
totally disagree with you.
I
I,
know
Larry,
do,
what
I
I
disagree too.
Larry, Larry,
I
let me
disagree
tell
Laurry,
you.
too.
go ahead.
See, in Africa, I'm talking from African experience. In Africa, before a marriage happens, a man must initiate it. No matter how you look at it, no matter how educated, how rich, yeah, a man still the head of the home. He still called the shots. So you cannot tell me that a woman, see, a man can wake up tomorrow and say, "I'm no longer interested in this marriage," and he walks away, even with children.
No.
It's not common with men.
BD, that's not true. BD, that's not true. George, you know what I'm saying. Do you know that it is the woman that calls marriages quit?
No,
Yes, I'm going to bring you
no,
data
I
now.
disagree with you.
I hope I'm
No,
bringing
I
out.
disagree with you.
I'm bringing out.
Larry,
It is
Larry,
the
Can
Larry,
I,
woman.
can I,
see,
can I
Larry,
say
Larry,
something?
I want to talk to Larry. I want Larry to say that. See, massive right is not accepting this the way it is, and that is actually one of the problems we have in our marriage institution. Trying to be a man. The thing is this: we have terrible women. We have women who abuse men. But what we are looking at in our society is the percentage. Do you understand? It's the percentage. Now, the thing is this: the men, like Sir George said, have they want the status quo to remain the way our forefathers lived,
Jo-
and the way our
BD,
forefathers lived is the problem of our marriage
no,
today,
no, no.
and that
BD,
is why.
BD,
Now
BD.
let me
Here,
come,
here
let me
in the
come,
West. BD, here
let
in the
me come.
West. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. Now let me come. The things our mothers endured, the women of today cannot endure it, and that is why we are having high rates of divorce. And
Okay,
I'm like, that's,
let me
can't
put
our
something straight.
men come down a
Yeah,
little so that we'll meet at the middle? Do you
let me
understand?
put
So
something
that
straight.
our
Let me put
marriage
something
can
straight.
start working.
Me-
Laurie, I
We,
want
we,
you to say,
yeah, we should take note of something. I think George was saying something earlier. It's a two-way war. It's a two world. You are saying in a typical African setting, but George and I are also looking at it from the Western setting. For example, in the West, the women have power. George knows what I'm saying. You don't
yeah,
touch a woman here. You don't do when the woman says get out of the house. That's the end. There are friends. I have a couple of friends in the UK, in America. The police will give you a meter. They will measure
100 meters.
meters. Don't pass 100 meters. You guys don't have that in Nigeria. So it's two factors now. But Laura, go
yeah.
ahead.
You're speaking from your own factor. Me, I'm speaking from my
Yes,
own angle. Oh, yeah, Laurie,
yes.
please, can you comment on that because we don't have time again. Laurie?
Okay. Yeah, if we consider Africa or maybe Nigeria, we will say it's more of the men. But if it's outside, women have power, we know. And I think even the power that has been given to the women outside is what makes the husbands outside seem as if they are better than the ones in Africa.
Exactly.
Because right now, right here, we the women in Africa, we are the same awareness that the abroad people have is what the Nigerian and African people have. So it makes it very difficult for them to adapt to the way our forefathers treated their wives. Like now, in those days, the women were not going to school, they just stay at home, they take care of them and all that. And so they even the financial incapability makes them not to move. They then decide to bear whatever they are being given in the marriage, you know. But now women are educated, they make money, they have traveled, they have seen different things, and you still want to treat them like our mothers that did not go to school, they don't even have money. Even if the man say, "Yeah, carry your load and go," they don't even know where to go to. Then a woman now, that's why the African man should be aware of this and put it into consideration when treating your wife. You should know that this woman is financially capable, she is aware, she's intelligent, she knows where to go, she knows even the hotel to move to if you should tell her to move out this night. Men need to step up, come up
But
a
what
little
has
so
created
that
this,
they meet in the middle.
Larry, what has created this awareness is because Africans are looking at the West. And I tell you, the West are suffering because of this. So the awareness has
They are
that
looking
They are
at
not
the West.
suffering.
No, no,
Massive
no.
Mike.
the
They are
The
awareness,
West,
looking at the
the,
right
the
thing.
West
the
are not
The
awareness
right
suffering.
thing.
the awareness you're all talking about is because African ladies now look at the how the white man treats his woman. And believe me,
It's
men are
not true.
suffering. If you go
They
No,
are
to
not
no,
Germany,
suffering.
listen,
If you're
listen,
no,
sincere with a woman
no.
in the Western world, if you're sincere and love her, you have a good relationship. Now we run behind shadow. We don't have more time. Now the thing is this: it has been established by Sir George and Laurry. Massive Mike is still fighting us. It has been established that more awareness on the side of women is one of the things that is creating this divorce. Now, I'm going to give everybody 30 seconds to speak on how our men will come, come a little bit down, or step back, so that they will understand that the women in the olden days is no longer the women of today. At least let them come little, come softer, so that they can be able to build a relationship, so that we can stop this divorce in our society. Let's start from Sir George. Just 30 seconds. We don't have more time.
What I need to really talk about basically is not what men need to do to evolve with the time. The bottom line to it is what Mark said in the very beginning. Love covers a multitude of sins. If you marry a woman, celebrate her every day of her life. She was not perfect when she picked and when you married her, and neither are you perfect. Therefore, you have to understand that when you love your wife unconditionally, she cannot help but love you unconditionally. Now, there are exceptions to this rule, but I want men to love their women the way they ought to love them, cherish and celebrate them every day of their lives. The
Sir George,
whole
please,
life
could
long.
you hold on a little? If you're talking, you should have in mind that in Nigeria or in Africa, 60% of marriage is not based on love. So whenever you're talking, you
Well,
have
you
that
can
at your
learn to
mind.
love your husband, and you can learn to love your wife.
Yeah,
That is
but
it.
you should understand. It's okay. Laura, please, what do men do to understand that women in the olden days is not the women of today, so that we can bridge this gap of divorce? 30 seconds.
Yeah, it's still everything is still based on that love. Even if you didn't love your wife or love your husband before you got married, you learn to love. And after, while you're loving, you should know, you will get to know that there are some things you were expecting this woman to do for you, or some things you are not supposed to do to someone you love. Then you calm down. Like
It's okay.
beating
Massive
somebody
Mike.
for love is not it.
It's okay.
Or
Massive Mike.
I am
So
still
please.
on. I'm still on the side that the awareness the women, the African woman had came from looking at the wrong side. Came from
And
looking at
our education
well,
came from there. Our
you
exposure
know,
came from
yes,
there.
yes,
So we
and
can't
it's not
live
helping
without
us.
it.
Listen, the Bible says let's everything it has where the law is coming from. The only law given to women in all of the laws given to men, the only law given to man is women be submissive to your husband. Basta.
Massive back is okay. I
Was
will
given
continue
to
with this
men.
your argument.
No,
I'll
man,
continue.
only man, love your
So,
wife. Man, do this
men.
to your wife. Take care of your family. Man, for
That's
women,
what we're saying
one,
the same thing. If
Don't
one.
you
worry,
love,
Massive
they will
back. I will
submit.
continue with this your argument next week. I
But
think this
you
is
know what? You know what? I know we have to go, but you have to remember, if Eve was submissive to Adam, when the serpent came to tempt her, she would have turned around and said, "Honey,
Oh, I
what's
like
going
this
on
man.
here?"
I just fell in love with you, now, Sir George.
So
Massive back, did you hear that? Did you
No,
hear
no,
that?
I didn't get
Adam
that.
was there. Adam was right
I didn't
there.
get that. Okay, we'll
Adam
continue
was
next week.
right there.
We'll continue next week. This is
We'll continue next week. This is where we'll draw the curtain today. Thanks for watching this show. Remember, like all my guests have said, that love conquers everything. In as much as in this part of the world, about 65% of us get into marriage without love. Let's cultivate the habits of loving our partner. I think it will solve most of our problem. Here we'll draw the curtain. See you next week. Same time, same time. Love you. My name still remains Bidi Inanna. Real talk here will make it real. Everything relationship. Don't miss next week edition. It's going to be hot. Bye.